Hello and welcome to Intelligent Millionaire Network Copenhagen. My name is Thomas Vernholm and I'm one of the owners of this Accountability and Network Club. It's a big pleasure and honor that we this month have invited Oliver Tham. He is based in Brisbane, Australia, and it will be on Thursday, the 28th, our time, and it will be on Zoom this time. So yes, let us please say hello to Oliver. And Oliver, let's please introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself. Yeah, a little bit about who you are and pretty much where you come from and yeah, where you are today.
Okay, thank you very much, Thomas. It's a pleasure and honor to be invited to speak to your group in Copenhagen. I actually have a heart for Denmark. I've been to Copenhagen, beautiful city. Spoken in a church in Copenhagen called KBC, and very happy to be in Denmark. And one day I hope to be there live with you all and do something together in person. Bit of background. I was born in Malaysia. I came to Australia back in 1975 when I was 16 years old to put myself to high school and university. My background is in engineering. And after that, I made a decision to learn everything about the development industry. So I spent most of my life working my way up in the development industry. And apart from that, I've been involved in quite a lot of businesses. I've helped do IT startups in Singapore. I've encouraged and helped people set up their own sort of motivation company. And in, I think about 2009, I was asked to be a director of the world's largest organizer of events and motivation. And it's called Success Resources Global. And so that you can get a feel of the size of the company and what we do, if you go into www.srglobal.com, I believe you can see a video, and a picture speaks 1,000 words. Mm-hmm. So, and as a director of Success Resources Global, we had a great pleasure actually to be the launch pad, and we set the platform for many great speakers to build a global following from our organization. We have more than 10 million sort of customers over the years. And during that time, we have set a platform for many, many people. We do about 500 events a year in 30 countries and 67 cities. And I actually believe people like Robert Kiyosaki got exposed to Asia in a very big way through us, as did Tony Robbins over the last 20 years. And we do all their work overseas. And speakers that we have enjoyed includes Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Tony Blair, Mikhail Gorbachev, Colin Powell, and hundreds and hundreds of speakers, to name a few. Yeah. And I also believe that we had a great pleasure of helping introduce J.T. Fox to the world. And so he features regularly in our National Achievers Congress. And so thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much. Very exciting, Oliver. I'm curious, could you please tell our members and our guests about your big why and your vision? What drives you to everything what you do?
Okay. One of the things that is different for me compared to a lot of other business people in the world is the why and the vision. I have been born to be a servant. I love to serve people. Even when I was young, I really enjoyed that. Putting myself to high school, I work as a waiter, barman, so I can serve people. And I really get a buzz out of it. And so in later life, I became a Christian. And as a Christian, we are taught to be servants. And so on the business side of it, business is second nature to me. It's somehow I believe that I was born with certain gifts to see things that others don't see. And so the why is that, sometimes when you walk with God as a Christian, you come to a point where you realize there's more to life than just making money, getting to know great people. It's about making a difference in people's lives. And so to do that, you have to be successful, because there's a Bible saying that's not very nice that says nobody listens to a poor man. And so you've got to be influential and being good in what you do. Every one of you, you can make an influence, you can make a difference. And for me, there is a calling in my life to serve God and people with the resources that I earn, and to lift people up, to bring people up to the best that they can be. So that is my driving factor. Mm-hmm. And I am 60 years old this year. By December, I'll be 60 years old, so I'm not a young man. And it is a point in life where I'm going to multiply myself by helping others achieve their success.
It's amazing. It's amazing. What do you think? What is the most important thing, do you think, when it comes to mindset as an entrepreneur?
Okay. As an entrepreneur, the most important quality you have to develop is this. No matter how tough things are, mm-hmm. no matter how dark the days are, there'll be always a dawn the next day. The sun will shine and things will work out well. Now, why is that important? You see, in life, some of the greatest people in the world are successful because they did not give up. And one of the things that you've got to learn to do is to shut your ears off to anything negative. If there's something in human nature that is put in you before you were born to succeed. In fact, the day you're born, you are already successful. I had the pleasure of meeting some amazing people in my life, in my time. People like Nick Vujicic, born with no arms and legs, and yet look at him today. He's at the pinnacle of success. And yes, he did go through his depression. There were times when he tried to kill himself. But instead of complaining about the world, he realized that he was actually made perfect in God's image. Mm-hmm. And so when he could see the perfection in him through God, and if you have time, just go to Opera, just put into YouTube and type the word Opera Nick Vujicic, and he tells you his mindset. Mm-hmm. In other words, you are all born to be great. And for you to be successful as an entrepreneur, it's a mindset thing that you've got to be able to believe it in your heart that all that you need to be successful is in your hands. God has made you fully equipped to be successful. Mm-hmm. And so whatever you go through, never give up. Exactly. So if Einstein have given up because the teacher discouraged him, the world would be different. If Edison gave up when he couldn't invent a light bulb the first 500 times, the world would be a darker place. Mm-hmm. So believe in yourself and never give up. Keep mm-hmm. pushing.
And if we ask, for example, now you are a city developer and a property investor, and I know that many people we know here in this network are also interested in to become things like this. What do you think is the most important skill set to master and develop when it comes to being a developer, being a property investor?
Okay, a couple of things. The first thing is that we live in a very good time in history. Information is more available today than ever before. You can learn from others faster than you could in the olden days. In other words, in the olden days, if someone didn't write a book, you wouldn't be able to learn some of his skills. But today, people are more willing to share information. You can go to YouTube. You can, virtually spend time knowing more about some of the greatest sort of, let's say, stock and shares investor, like Warren Buffett, than you could ever in history, because you can even listen to him talk on different occasions to universities and so on. You can do the same for other people. And so, you know, when you start understanding that, knowledge is available. So to be successful in property developers, to be a successful property developer, the first thing that you need to do is to be able to look at things from a different perspective. And there are a lot of basic skill set you need to master. You know, I give example. The good thing about a developer is sometimes you have to question yourself, what is a developer? Mm-hmm. Is he an architect? Is he a town planner? Is he a marketing guy? Is he a finance guy? And in a funny way, a developer is none of all that, but he's a little bit of all that. So he's not an architect. He's not a town planner. He's not necessarily a financier. He's not necessarily, you know, the best person to sell his properties. But he has a bit of every skill set. And at the end of the day, he's an organizer. Mm. And the funny thing about being a developer is that when you look at the hierarchy of businesses, somehow there's something about property development that's very exciting because it allows you to exercise creative power. When you build a shopping center, when you plan a city and you walk into it, there's something magical about it. And yes, you won't get it right all the time. And if you're a critical person like myself, every time you do that, you say, geez, I could have improved this, I could have improved that. And that is the evolution of development. So learn the skill sets, be a good organizer, and don't be afraid to learn and understand different facets that relate to the industry, like financing. There are many finance models out there. Spend time with bankers, spend time with financiers, talk to them, and be creative in the process and learn from them. Now, as an investor, you've got to understand market trends. You've got to be able to understand some fundamentals. Like, for example, if you look at any capital city that is growing in the world, no matter how the market is, if you look at a 10-year trend, and you can look at Copenhagen, look at the prices of property 10 years ago, even if it goes through its ups and downs, up and down, up and down, but on a 10-year spread, you find that it would have performed even better than the stock market. You look at London, whatever the property market is, up and down, and they are saying that with Brexit, the price might come down a bit. But whatever it is, you've got to look at it as a long-term thing. And yes, you can pick the market like you do with the stock market when the Brexit comes in and the price of property drop and you go into the market. But always take a long-term view in property. Mm-hmm. Structure the deal in such a way that you can survive anything, including a nuclear holocaust. And that is the essence of investment in property.
Awesome. Oliver, what can people expect to hear from you and learn on Thursday, do you think, that can benefit them in their own business?
Okay. On Thursday, it's going to be a real good opportunity for me to challenge you all to dig deep inside to find out what you're made of. Because at the end of the day, I had the pleasure of coaching people, CEOs of major companies on a very private capacity. Some of them have gone on to become billionaires. Okay, so you know how to take the best out of people and bring it out of them. And I will, in fact, on Thursday, tell the story of a man with that when I met him, he was worth minus $15 million. Today, he's worth $1 billion. But on paper, he claims 900 million. So I think there's 100 million missing somewhere because I know but maybe he's just been modest, you know. Maybe he doesn't. Forbes called him a $900 million man, but I know it's $1 billion. Maybe he just wants to be humble. I don't know. But the thing is this: if it take him 20 years to become a billionaire from minus 15 million, ask yourself this question: do you owe $15 million right now? If you don't, then you are starting off way ahead of him.
Yeah.
So if you take him 20 years to become a billionaire, it should take you 10 or less. So what I hope to do is to be able to not so much talk about myself, to try to bring the best out of you. And I really look forward to that, Thomas.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to see you on Thursday. And thank you so much for your time. It's fantastic. God bless you. And thanks for now. See you.
And thank you very much, Thomas. I really appreciate this, and I look forward to that.
Thank you. See you.